Yeah, and from the famous words of Nelson Mandela, it always seems impossible until it's done. And reports are like that, just like ripping off a band-aid and getting it done. A reporting timeline is your friend. If you're anything like me and you just kind of have a whim, you go, I've got a feeling I'm going to start my reports. You're kind of setting yourself up for a little bit of a disaster if you haven't been doing it for a long time. So try and get on top of what you need to start doing to get your reports happening.
Welcome to Rainbow Skies for Teachers, the go-to show dedicated to teachers who want to make a big difference in education. Whether you're in your first few years or well into your teaching career, we are here to inspire, support, and empower you with bite-sized tips, simple strategies, and the motivation to lead an education revolution, one classroom at a time.
We're Ashley and Alisha from Rainbow Sky Creations, two Aussie teachers who love all things teaching and learning. We are here to help you thrive as you work toward making an impact in your students' lives while loving your life as a teacher.
We are here to help you bring joy, simplicity, and creativity into your classroom on the daily, because
there are rainbows ahead, my friend, and together we're unstoppable.
Let's get into today's episode.
Rainbow Sky Creations acknowledges the traditional owners of the land we have recorded this podcast on, the Dharawal and Whadjuk Noongar people. We pay our respects to their elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures. Oh, welcome to Rainbow Skies for Teachers. We are very happy that you are here. I've got the lovely Ashley.
I've got the lovely Alisha, and we're excited. No, we're not. We're not overly excited to talk about this topic because it's a topic that teachers don't really like. But I've got a confession to make, and this might make me sound like you don't want to be my friend anymore. But I actually like writing reports.
I feel like it's a compulsory reflective time for teachers where you go, am I making an impact in these students' lives? Here, let me report on every single child and their accomplishments or lack thereof.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to talk about this as we go along, but as part of the job, if you're a person that likes everything wrapped up in a pretty little bow, reports kind of does that. We've got to get on with it. So we decided to create this episode, probably not the most fun episode, but perhaps it'll help make your report writing a little bit more fun. 7 different tips that are helpful to keep you on the right momentum path when writing your report cards.
Yeah, and from the famous words of Nelson Mandela, it always seems impossible until it's done. And reports are like that, just like ripping off a band-aid and getting it done. So tip number 1, a reporting timeline is your friend. If you're anything like me and you just kind of have a whim, you go, I've got a feeling I'm going to start my reports. You're kind of setting yourself up for a little bit of a disaster if you haven't been doing it for a long time. So try and get on top of what you need to start doing to get your reports happening. So a timeline for when you plan your assessments need to be completed for the final grades, when you want to start writing your comments, which subject are you going to start with? Is it your generals, your maths, your English, whatever it might be? Sometimes schools that you work in will provide you with a timeline that they'll go like, you are 4 weeks out from when your reports are due. On this date, you need to have it into your buddy for it to be read over. At this time, it needs to be sent up to administration. So if your school provides you with that, like most would, that's a really good starting off base. And then I would be going in and go, okay, what assessments do I need to get done to be able to have that information? So a good basic timeline.
Yeah, we actually created a blog post last year about one of the best principals I ever worked with, Alan, and he would always provide the most beautiful report timeline. It didn't look beautiful. It was very basic. But what was beautiful about it was that he outlined everything that you needed to do, when you needed to do it, and it kept you on track. We will link that blog post in the show notes if you want to steal Alan's report timeline, because it will really help and it will keep you on track. Thank you, Alan. We love you.
I love you just for knowing Ashley through you, so it's great.
I'm sure Alan never listens to this podcast, but he does have daughters, twin daughters that are teachers and a wife that's a teacher, so you never know.
It's in the family, obviously.
Yes. Okay, number 2 is something that I roused on Alisha many, many years ago about not having this ready. She She said, Ashley, I'm really stressed about my reports. I haven't got my data ready. And I said, what do you mean you haven't got your data ready? What are you talking about? She had not written all of her information in her assessment book ready to go to write the reports. This is a big bumper. You're shaking your head. Are you disagreeing with me?
I'm just saying I have a really amazing brain and it just held all that information. Yeah, no, do not be me. Like, your assessment book is your saving grace. If you have
Yes.
bought any form of teacher planner, they will have them rubrics at the back. Mrs. Edgar does amazing planners. She will have it there at the back where you can put in your subject, your student list, your outcomes, whatever it might be. I'd like to fully make you aware that I have now mastered assessment books, that if I was
Yes.
ever to go back into the classroom, I have great systems in place. So just letting you know, I've recovered from my faux pas.
I will agree. She's changed her ways because when we spoke about this originally, she was really stressed about these reports. It took about 3 weeks for the stress to sort of wear off. And I said to her, don't ever let this happen to yourself again. And she was like, I will not. And then we actually created an assessment book that's just really easy that you can print off or you can use digitally just to make sure everything's written down. Now, starting this on day one and having everything in one spot is the best idea. But if you're listening to this and you're like, this is not near day one, I'm like, I've ruined it for the year. You haven't. You can always start. But just have everything written down. It makes life so much easier.
Yeah, look, what did I do in that time when I didn't have my assessment book? I went and got my students' books. You know what I mean? Like, I went and got my assessment folders I had for my students where I'd been keeping their test results, or I went and grabbed their portfolios that I'd been adding their results to. So it's not like the information wasn't accessible to me. It just wasn't at my fingertips. And that's what an assessment book is. It has it at your fingertips. Fun fact, I ended up marrying a maths teacher who ended up making me some crazy Google spreadsheets, which, you know, is where these assessment books came about. Like, you know, when you have a system and you have a way of tracking the results of your students so you can see the progress, but ultimately so they can see their progress, then it is beneficial for everyone. So yeah, grab your assessment book.
Yeah. A little tip for little gaps. So you might get your assessment book all ready and then you think, oh, there's a little gap here. I'm not quite sure if that shouldn't achieve that or whatever. Exit tickets are the perfect way just to have a little quick check because they're super quick. You can just measure one little skill. You can give different ones to different kids. So if you're like, oh, this kid was away when we were doing odd and even numbers, or this kid has had a 2-week holiday when we were doing, you know, similes and metaphors, then you can just give them a quick exit ticket just to see if they understand the concept or not.
Yeah, and there's nothing stopping you from putting like 4 exit tickets together and stapling it and going, here, do all these for me, please. Get them back to me. So your tip number 3 is allocate blocks of time. So like reports are coming up. You're like, oh my God, I need to get them done. So time block, time to do that. It could be that you go, all right, after school today, I'm going to just put 1 hour aside, turn off my device. Everything's in aeroplane mode. And I'm going to go through my assessment book and come and jot down where I think my students are sitting on their grades. And you go, okay, I've got all my grades for my subject. So next time I time block, I can smash out my English report comments or write my comments for A grades, B grades, C grades, whatever it might be. Time blocking.
It might be sitting down and saying, okay, I've got half an hour. I'm going to write 4 or 5 general comments. I love doing my general comments like that, writing, like just grouping the kids and writing them over time because I don't feel like it's such a big, daunting job. The other thing you can do with your time blocking is have a look at some of the other tasks you've got to do as a teacher and cut down on some of those tasks during report writing time. I think that's why teachers get stressed because it's just an added extra. Like we've got all the things to do and then, oh, now it's report writing time and then everyone's heightened with all of the feelings. So think about things that you can cut back on during reports. It might be like you're not going to create new classroom displays for 2 weeks. It might be like, we're not going to write weekly emails to parents if that's what you have to do at your school. Or it might be, okay, for the next 2 weeks for reading groups, we're going to do the same activities and just streamline it. I've got them all organized, ready to go. And it's not something that I need to plan extra for. So just think about ways, I call them like little cheats or like little hacks, but just of making your life that bit easier.
Yeah. And then administration goes, we're not having staff meetings for the next 2 Wednesdays. And you're like, great, I can time block that time to do my reports. I would have been at school anyway. Let's use that time.
If you're a principal or assistant principal listening to this, give your teachers a little bit of staff meeting time to write their reports, please. It'll make you very popular.
Absolutely. That is so true. I actually had a admin team, our boss. She would be like, now I know some people might have a lot on. If you need me to come take your class for a lesson, I will. And you can go do some report writing. I was like, yes.
That is amazing.
Here, take my grammar books. Off you go. Teach my students. Tip number 4. What is it, Ash?
Teamwork makes the dream work. So if you're a new teacher, ask for help. Ask for other teachers to share some of their comments with you. Say to another teacher, I'm not sure what grade this child's going to get. Can you please help me? What do you think? Here is the evidence. So teamwork in that way, or if you're an experienced teacher, share timelines with each other. Hey, I'm up to this. What are you up to with this? You can hold each other accountable. You can, again, share report comments with each other. It's not about copying those report comments, but it might be just about picking out key words or key phrases that you think, oh, that's really good. That will help inspire you. We're going to touch on this in a minute, but also talk to other teachers about how they're using AI to help them with their reports, because AI could be your team member as well.
Absolutely. How much of a game changer would be report writing with AI nowadays?
Such a game changer. And if for some reason there is a rule at your school that says no AI for report writing, they are never going to know. You just use that as you can. Remember, you've still got to input data. You've got to make sure that you're proofreading it. You've got to make sure that it does really reflect that student. So you're still using your brain. You're just not writing it all from absolute scratch.
Yeah, it's a really good foundation. AI is, we like to look at it as a tool. Like you would have a calculator to help you with tough calculations.
Yes.
Your AI is there as a tool to set that scaffolding that we do for students, but it sets that scaffolding for us to go, oh my God, that is what I was trying to say. I just didn't have the right words to say it. Now I can add and tweak and adjust and make it applicable and targeted to that student. So it is totally working smarter. That's what it is.
It is. And that's our motto here at Rainbow Sky: work smarter and not harder, friend.
Yes.
Okay. The next one is following a system. And as you get on to writing reports year after year, the more this system will help you. But this is how we kind of like to do it. We like to start by writing a bank of comments for each grade that you report on to help us. So we keep comments similar for an A grade, B, C grade, etc. A word bank can help you. AI could help you in this instance as well. But having that bank of comments is a great starting point. Next, we work out the grade for each student. This is when having your assessment book there and ready is really going to help. Next up, we like to write the subject comments for all of one grade at a time. So if we're doing English, speaking and listening, all of the C's, we're going to write their comments. So we're kind of grouping our kids. All the A's, we're going to write their comments for 2 reasons. Firstly, your brain's in that system of writing that similar sort of comment, but also then you're not going to be repeating comments, especially if you have twins or brothers and sisters in your class. All of that sort of stuff you need to take into consideration, but it will help your brain work quicker. Next up, we do the not so enjoyable task of writing the general comments. And as we said earlier, we like to choose 5 comments to write in a day. Sometimes Alisha and I both do this. On a Saturday or early in the morning or in the afternoon, we go and sit at our favorite cafe, have a drink. It's a piccolo is my drink of choice, and write some comments at a cafe. That way you're not being distracted by other things. You know, when you're at school, sometimes it can be hard. People knocking on your door, other things coming on your desk. If noise is fine by you, go to a cafe and smash out those comments. Now, if you're writing 5 general comments each day for a week, you will have those done.
Absolutely. And a change of location can be a motivation. Like if you're going to school to write your reports and you're like, oh my God. But if you're like going to somewhere with a really nice outlook or view, you're like, oh, this is nice. And it can be motivation in itself. Continue,
and then the
Ashley.
final step is that we check and edit the reports before they're being handed off to the buddy or the leadership team or whatever. So that's the system and the flow that we like to follow. Find a system or a flow that works for you. And then that way things aren't going to be forgotten. And then you can refer back to that timeline at the very beginning to also help you keep you on track.
Yeah, better done than perfect. Just get started and then you get into the flow. So good luck.
Okay, tip number 6 is not really a tip, but it's a mindset reminder that report writing is part of your job. We have to do it. So it doesn't matter how much whinging, complaining, how much you hate it. Sometimes it's just better off to put your head down and get on with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Get yourself your favorite treat, whatever it might be, as your little reward. Like you go to the cafe, you have your favorite coffee or your mocha, whatever it is, and you go, when I finish, I'm going to get that really delicious chicken and avocado roll and eat it wherever it might be. But just set those little incentives, but celebrate. Every time you have an accomplishment on something that is a little bit irksome for you, celebrate it. Why not?
Yeah, that was our final tip. Reward yourself. And you
Oh, yeah.
deserve a reward because it might be part of your job, but it doesn't mean it's not the funnest of things. So celebrate your progress, whatever
Yeah.
motivates you too.
Yeah, absolutely. You could like to, have a little movie marathon, whatever it might be. Plan a
Yeah, I used to
holiday
have this.
somewhere.
Yes, a holiday plan is fun. I used to have this terrible, terrible habit when I was at uni that every time I'd sit down and write my final draft of an essay, I would eat a packet of like lollies.
Wow.
And I'd end up with a tummy ache. Probably wouldn't get through the whole packet, but I'd end up with a tummy ache. But at the beginning, it was so good because I was just rewarding myself. I was smashing out that essay.
I feel like there's bags of lolly people and blocks of chocolate people. And yeah, I'm a block of chocolate girl. My husband gets the lollies out at night. He's like, do you want some? I went, good God, no. Block of chocolate? Yeah, let me finish it.
No, I could never get through a block of chocolate. There you go. We found something else that's different about each other.
That's it. So these are your 7 tips to just get on with it. Get on with your report writing. So tip 1 was get your report writing timeline. Number 2, have your assessment book ready. Number 3, allocate blocks of time. They're going to save you. Put time in your calendar to smash out those reports. Number 4, teamwork makes the dream work. Even great for just motivating and having an accountability partner of like, I'm going to get my generals done by the end of this week. Number 5, follow a system. We gave you our report writing formula, so try that or one of your own. And tip number 6, remember it's a mindset thing. You got to get this done. And if you're finding, oh my gosh, if you are finding it hard to get motivated, I challenge you to have a chat with AI and go, I'm supposed to be doing my report writing. I really can't get motivated. Do you have some ideas on to get me motivated? Give me something motivational. And I swear it will give you something thought-provoking and probably inspiring. And you'll be like, all right, I'm ready to do this. So there you go. Use AI for that one.
Yeah, you can use AI for everything these days. If you want something that's a bit more motivating that has been written by teachers, not AI, we have got a report companion that is there to help you. So inside it, we've got a timeline that you can fill out. We've got checklists that you can check off. We've got word banks. We've got comments that you can use. Some of it's editable too. So you can, copy and paste and get the bits and pieces that you need. So anything that you might need to write those reports, we have got in our report writing companion that might be helpful. Virginia said it was a brilliant resource. It helped her write her reports. It was so easy to print out and she would highly recommend it to others.
Yeah.
So there you go.
You're at the start of your career or you're like 3-4 years in, you're still like, I don't have a system. We've got it for you. So that report companion guide has been a lifesaver for hundreds of teachers who have got back to us. So we wish you luck. Buy those bag of lollies, block of chocolate, whatever it may be. Yes. And we can't wait to hear how you smash out those reports in record time.
Now, we will be back next week with maybe a topic that is a little bit more interesting than reports. But until then, there are rainbows ahead, my friend.
And together, we're unstoppable.